and fallouts with occasions despite belonging to the same party. Tshwane has now opted to resign as both councillor and speaker of council due to ongoing disagreements and fallouts with fellow EFF members in the metro. EWN has received confirmation that Tshwane will remain an EFF member. The party has chosen to redeploy her to the Gauteng provincial legislature after tensions with some councillors in the Ekurhuleni council. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
Suspended EMPD acting head Julius Mkhwanazi has alleged that former Deputy Chief Rivo Spies misled the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry by presenting a forged operational plan. Last month, Spies testified that the operational plan showed signs of manipulation after its initial submission. He claimed visible inconsistencies in the paper texture and printer markings suggesting that the middle portion of the document had been replaced. Testifying before that same commission in Pretoria today, Mkhwanazi claims the operational plan that he will be presenting, which was signed off by all relevant stakeholders, is the authentic document. He conceded that he did rope in Vusumuzi Matlala's private VIP protection company to assist the city of Ekurhuleni in 2022 ahead of the State of the City address.
I, Julius Mkhwanazi,
yes,
Deputy Chief of Operations and Specialized Services,
yes,
say in this commission and in members of public of this country, Deputy Chief of Police, Rivo Spies, presented a forged plan that he forged and presented to this commission. I'm going to present the real operational plan.
Let's stay in Tshwane. The DA in the city has opened a fraud case against the city's Deputy Mayor and Finance MMC Eugene Modise at the Brooklyn Police Station today. A forensic investigation report recently tabled to council found Modise is unethically benefiting from a company which is doing business with the municipality. The company in question is Triotic Protection Services, which has a multi-million rand security contract with the city. Thabiso Goba has more.
Eugene Modise has maintained he sold his ownership stake in Triotic Protection Services in 2023 prior to becoming a PR councillor for the ANC in Tshwane. However, the forensic investigation report says Modise failed to provide a sale of agreement to prove this. The reports found Modise also failed to disclose he currently leases one of his properties to Triotic and receives a rental income from a company currently doing business with the city. The DA's Jackie Ace says Modise has breached the councillor's code of conduct.
The DA will lay fraud charges against Deputy Mayor Eugene Modise since the mayor is not acting. Investigative reports in council link Modise to irregular benefits from city contracts.
Last week, the ANC, Action SA and EFF caucuses sponsored and passed a motion to establish an ad hoc committee to consider the implications of the reports. Thabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
In the courts now, murder-accused Tiffany Nicole Meek will spend Christmas and New Year in custody after her pre-trial hearing at the Johannesburg High Court was postponed today. The matter will return to court in January to allow Meek's new lawyer time to be finished with the case docket. Meek, who has been in custody since July this year, is facing 5 charges, including newly added counts of child abuse and neglect linked to the death of her 11-year-old son, Jaden Lee Meek. Jaden Lee was reported missing in May after failing to return home from school. His lifeless body was found the following day on a staircase inside the Flehof complex near his home. Thandoluhle Ngcobo has the details.
31-year-old Tiffany Meek appeared briefly at the Johannesburg High Court, her face downcast with brief nervous glances around the courtroom. The court heard that Meek was abandoning her legal aid representative in favor of a new lawyer acquired by her family. Attorney C. Van Doe, who was standing in for Meek's newly appointed representative who could not attend today's proceedings, requested a postponement to allow time to be furnished with the docket and to facilitate the transfer of the matter to the High Court sitting in Palmridge. The state told the court it was not opposed to the postponement to allow for a fair pre-trial process. Meek remains behind bars. Thandoluhle Ngcobo, Eyewitness News at the Johannesburg High Court.
And in Australia, video streaming giant YouTube has hit back at the country's looming social media ban for under-16s. The site has described the move as rushed and says the law will not fulfill its promise to make kids safer online. YouTube was originally slated to escape the ban so children could watch educational videos, but the Australian government changed tact in July. From December 10th, Australia will require major social media platforms as well as websites to remove underage accounts or face hefty fines. Some popular apps and websites such as Roblox, Pinterest and WhatsApp are currently exempt, but that list remains under review. Gold is trading at $4,205.98 an ounce. The rand is 17.09 to the dollar, 22.62 to the pound, 19.91 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $62.51 a barrel.
Well, at this stage in the Calvin Alex area, if you're heading towards Midrand, we still have those roadworks causing about a 20-minute delay. N3 northbound between London Road and the Patloo interchange. Also, if you're traveling in and out of the Joburg CBD, there's heavy delays on Main Reef Road. This is between Anderson and Nasrec. And finally, in the Mother City, we still have slow-moving traffic. This is on the M5 northbound between the N2 and the Coburg interchange.
It's a partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng with scattered showers and thundershowers expected. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 24 and 27 degrees, while Cape Town is fine with a fresh southeasterly wind at a high of 29 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, the EFF's Thabiseng Chibenga has resigned with immediate effect as a councillor and speaker of the Ekurhuleni Council.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. 7:02, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. Good afternoon, I'm Jane Dutton, I'm in for Mandy, and there's been a new twist at the Malanga inquiry. Suspended acting EMPD boss Julius Mkhwanazi now claims he was trained by the FBI. His links to Kat Matlala have also been coming into focus. We're going to dip back into those hearings as more of that unravels. In court, Katisa Molefe's murder cases, including the killing of DJ Sambodi, have been consolidated. It's been moved to the High Court. And we're also hearing now that two men believed to be escorting Molefe have been charged with the possession of unlicensed firearms. So we're going to find out what's happened there. In Ekurhuleni, EFF Speaker Thabiseng Chibenga has resigned after a bruising internal clash. And we're going to be finding out what's going wrong in the Western Cape, what's been driving up these crime levels. If you're in the Western Cape area, get in touch with us, WhatsApp us on 072 567 1567 and here in Gauteng 072 702 1702.
Because this journey is better taken together.
Let's walk the talk. 7:02.
EMPD boss Julius Mkhwanazi has been testifying at the Madlanga inquiry. Let's dip in for a little bit to hear more of what he's got to say.
In terms of supporting members, because I must mention this, that for the past 5 years, if not 10 years, we don't have bullet vests. We don't have. It's only EMPD that doesn't have uniform. Now, when you go around and see female officers approaching you with their trousers, may I stand up just to show? With their trousers.
All right, we're going to dip out of that just for a little bit and bring in our reporter, Oren Singh, who's been on this story. Oren, Julius is standing up and then sitting down, and he's gesticulating quite a lot as he gets to some passionate details in his evidence. What has really stood out for you today?
Good afternoon, Jen. Well, I think it's the justification in that clip you just played. He's talking about the lack of certain resources that EMPD had. And he's trying to justify him getting into this sort of unlawful agreement with Vusimusi Kat Matlala, but also Vusimusi Kat Matlala's business partner, Mike van Wyk, in receiving certain vehicles that were, inverted commas, donated to the city of Ekurhuleni. He claims that he was excited about this donation because they didn't have vehicles and they were struggling without vehicles. These were 5 high-end vehicles. We're talking about BMWs here that Vusimusi Kat Matlala was essentially, according to Mkhwanazi, was upgrading his personal VIP fleet and had these vehicles on the side that he didn't need to utilize anymore. And therefore, when Mkhwanazi approached him to say, but look, if you're not using these vehicles, can't we take them? Can't the city of Ekurhuleni and EMPD have them as a donation, which Matlala agreed to. But he also, Jane, I think this is important, he also conceded that those vehicles were never actually utilized by any city officials or any officials within EMPD. They were simply registered as municipal vehicles, but were never utilized. And so it begs the question, what was the purpose of having these vehicles donated to EMPD, who at the time were allegedly so short on vehicles, if they were never going to be used by EMPD officials? And I think that's what we've seen so far play out, and this whole narrative that these vehicles were registered with the municipality, but were used for Vusimusi Katmatlala's own personal gain and own personal use. So that's just one of the things that came out from his testimony today, Jane, among an array of other things.
And throwing Spies under the bus.
Throwing Revo Spies under the bus, and this is in relation to the 2022 State of the City address within the city of Ekurhuleni, claiming that he had brought on, this is Commissioner Mkonazi, not Brigadier Mkonazi, let's get it right. He had met with Vusimusi Katmatlala and members of Vusimusi Katmatlala's private security team, Cat VIP Protection, to say he wants to bring them on board to assist with the State of the City's address. And they had drawn up an operational plan which consisted of members from SAPS, it would have consisted of members from crime intelligence, because you're dealing with a high-level operation here, and senior delegates within the city to have this State of City address happen without any sort of hazards or any sort of incident-free. And that he had brought Vusimusi Katmatlala's company on at no cost to the city. Vusimusi Katmatlala didn't want any sort of payment from the city for his private security company to assist them, and that this was okayed with all the relevant people. He claims that the operational plan that was drawn up was signed off by Deputy EMPD Chief Revo Spies, but was also signed off by the then EMPD Chief Isaac Mapiyeye, saying that there was no issues with it. But he says that Revo Spies, in his testimony before the commission last month, he had submitted a forged operational plan and not the original operational plan that was signed off. And those are his allegations that he's put towards the commission or to the commission this morning.
I mean, he's coming across quite emphatic. He's standing by what he's saying. I mean, how would you read his performance? What do you see in there?
It's tough, Jane. I think we're going to see the tides turn a little bit in terms of that confidence that he's had so far throughout the morning as soon as we break for lunch, or possibly within even the next couple of minutes, because the commission had intervened in his testimony. He had been going quite a bit off script, not talking to things in his statement, and they told him that, look, you need to be time conscious here because we don't have 3 or 4 days with you. We've got a day to get through your testimony. And so in the next couple of minutes, I suspect that they're going to start cross-examining him, and that's when we're going to see possibly his confidence falter a bit. And I think we're going to see a different Commissioner Mkonazi before the commission here today, when he starts facing some of the tough questions that come with cross-examination.
Okay, Oren, I think that gives us a cue to leave you and listen to some of those tough questions. Thank you.
And check the buildings where officers, EMPD officers, are reporting to. Some ceilings are collapsing. Whilst there's a budget that has been allocated. You see, secondly, we're able now, you see, able to push when DSP or Deputy Chief Spies retired. No, not retired. His line is not retired. He went to the city of Tshwane, and the chief was suspended to buy more than 100 cars. You see, the cars that we were unable to buy for 5, 7 years, 8 years, you see. Now, the cars that they are busy with the issue of uniform and other things, because we discovered that some of the uniform, not to say it's not there, the uniform is hiding somewhere in containers, the containers where we keep cars, stolen, or not cars, damaged cars, or cars that were impounded. You know why they were hiding there? So that we keep on pushing the service providers to provide uniform. But when we go and demand for uniform, there's a photo that I'm going to provide. As a deputy chief of police, it is difficult to get uniform. There's a photo that they presented that I was wearing sword, we're looking down we call them gadgets.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, it was like a joke. Commissioners, our gadgets or our sword must look down. Then that means everything must follow the same code. But our budget is an opposite, you see. And when you wait like this, not nice. I've provided photos. We'll see in terms of these photos. It leaves something like, it's not supposed to follow your collar. It must be nice. When you look at the SAPS uniform, you may feel jealous. But ours doesn't, it's not like that, you see. We raised it in the meeting. In that meeting.
Sorry, Commissioner. You have the ones that run down like this, and then you have others, or I don't know the difference between Georges and all that, but I'm just referring to what has the, what do you call them? The sword.
Eclipse.
No, I'm referring to what's
the
on.
swords.
There's a sword, and then what else?
It's a sword and 2 castles.
And 2?
Castles.
Yes.
2 round castles for...
Those you have them on the shoulder, and you have some running here.
Yes.
Now, which ones are you talking about? Those that run down here?
Yes, and they must align. If this one is looking down, all of them must...
I'm asking you this because I seem to recall that the evidence was that one of the 2, that is either the one on the shoulder or this one, that one of the 2, you had it correctly positioned.
Yes.
But that it was the other one that was wrongly positioned.
Yes.
That's my understanding of the evidence.
You are correct, Commissioner. Yes. It's the one on the shoulder.
Yes. I see you now focusing on the one because you've been indicating. I see you focusing on the one that sort of runs down like this. Do you want to focus on the one on the shoulder?
Yes, no.
Because according to your colleagues, the problem is with the one on the shoulder.
Yes. You are correct, Commissioner. Yes. I'm saying the one at the collar and the shoulder, they must align. You see, you can't wear this one looking up and this one looking downwards. Then when you wear this one looking downwards, it leaves the gap, you see. Yeah. But for all other ranks, directors, deputy directors, downwards is fine. But for us as commissioner, they didn't do it correctly. And we're issuing it, you see. But there's a photo I will show you. You can see that when I'm wearing the combat one is correct, but the step out one is not correct. But to summarize it, there's a question that I was asked that, hey, you are wearing this rank. Where did you take this rank?
It is now 19 minutes past. I will allow you until half past. At half past, I will stop you.
Yes. Who conferred you? Who appointed you? I went to the interviews. I applied. We went to the interviews. On that day, it was me and the deputy director for this position. You see, we started the interviews. I attended the interviews. We were informed that, I was informed that I must go to somewhere in Sandhurst or somewhere in Sentin. It's the second interviews with external. You see, but whilst I was still waiting, that I got an invite. It is attached. You see, that the processes of court says that for that position, you can't only do internal interviews. There's a second process, second phase, where they check in terms of your capacity, capable to lead, your management style, leadership style, understanding finances, understanding the economics management. You are able to do problem solving. It's about all those things. I think it's about 10. You see, I attended. It's like a psychiatrist. What is called? There's a best terminology that I want.
Psychometric.
No, let's say it's psychometric test. Let me say so. But I wanted a better psychometric test. I did that.
Apologies, Commissioner. Were you thinking of competency assessment?
Yeah, let's say competency assessment. Okay. Yes. But the same test is part of it. You see. Then I attended it. They told me that no, we are going to send the results to your employer, but we're also going to forward them to you. You see, they were forwarded to my employer, they were forwarded to me. Then I was called. Mr. Mkwanazi, you are successful in terms of this position. You may come, it was November, because I was supposed to start. I started on the 1st. I went to HR, asked different commissioners with other metros. In Johannesburg, they've got their own HR. The chief of police is having powers of all HR. He can hire and fire. He can do all these things. Ours, we can't do that. Ours, in terms of HR, there's a department of HR, human resource, that deals with those things, promotion, labor, and other things. In terms of...
And in the interest of time, may I interject once again?
Yes.
Just we have to provide specificity. You say you were called by HR.
Yes.
Who called you? Let's just mark that.
No, it's officials there. It's senior officers, junior officers that deals with that.
That invite you?
Yes, they invite you to come. Even on interviews, you are called by those juniors.
No, this is after your assessment. You said you received your own competency assessment results.
Yes.
You received them.
Yes.
And then you said subsequently there too you were invited by HR.
Yes.
And now you're saying you were invited by junior officials.
No, those that called is those that are doing admin work.
No, that's fine. I'll accept
Yes.
that. I'm not having an issue.
Yes.
I just want to understand, did the junior official indicate for what purpose you are being invited?
No, they're very clear that you have been successful. There are documents and everything that you must come.
Those are the junior officials
that do admin. That's what they do. Every time when there's promotion, it is them that run administrative paperwork and everything.
All right.
You see.
I'm clarified.
But when I was there, you see, I think it was HR, DH. Yeah, it was DHHR, you see, who brought in the forms.
And
you see, who brought in the appointment letter.
What is DH?
Is it head of department?
No. It's divisional head. Deputy, like your deputy HOD. Divisional head. It's at the same rank with our deputy chief of police. Or same rank like I. You see. But we produced the letter that has been signed by the head of the department. And by who? But the letter is there. I've attached it. You see. I've signed. And when I signed, I was not hip in terms of the benefits. Remember, now I'm becoming a contract. You see. I'm supposed to pay 100% out of the benefits that I'm getting. You see, when I checked the amount, it was far less than that, than what I'm getting with all the benefits and everything. You see, I tried to write a motivation because I was told that no, you can write a motivation, they will adjust and do everything. But till today, you see, deep down I say it was better where I come from than where I am. Because there's full responsibility and everything.
May I make this request to you? Because in our engagement with the retired city manager, I think I have a sense of which letter you are referring to. I think it is the letter appointing you to the position of deputy commissioner.
Yes.
So no, we've had sight of that letter, and actually, I say we have had sight of that letter. We have seen where, if that is what you are referring to, you, in handwriting, you made your motivation.
So I've got a WhatsApp message here from Tutu Mnisi saying, in South Africa, anything is possible. My goodness, who did this man get a job? How did he get his job as chief of EPMD? I'd be intrigued to hear from you what you think about that. I mean, it was rather painful listening to him describe how he got his job. We had to describe what the medals meant, the detail meant on his jacket, and how he was called in and told that he was given this job. So let me know what you think. 072 702 1702, Cape Talk numbers 072 567 1567. Lex says the issue of the EMPD allowing known thieves and criminals to use blue light shows how they are aligned as thugs, thieves and liars.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
Good day, Jane. Good day, 702 listeners. Jane, all we need from Julius It's not all these theatrics and standing up, sitting down, hyperventilation, 50 liters of water being drunk. We want to know, why did he give Cat Matlala blue lights? And how many Woolies bags did he receive? That's all we want to know. All the rest of his thing is training by the FBI, his recruitment by CIA. That's his problem. Only two things. Blue lights and Woolies bags. Thank you, musician.
Real growth needs more than just banking, and Nedbank Commercial Banking is your growth partner. Their team of industry experts understand your business and its potential, offering insight to help you see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because when you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Tired of long queues and waiting times at labor centers? The Unemployment Insurance Fund, UIF, has made things easier for you. Now you can access UIF services anytime, anywhere through the UIF Online Services platform. Submit and track your claims outcome. Upload supporting documents. Submit a payment request. Check payment status or update your personal details, all from the comfort of your home or office. It's fast, simple, and user-friendly. All you need is an internet connection. So why wait? Visit uifonline.labor.gov.za/UIF online today and experience convenient, efficient service at your fingertips. UIF, working for you.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a shift worker making his way home and daydreaming about his next career move, his next chapter. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a possible light bulb moment that could change someone's life. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Walking this talk together.
Every hour.
Every day. This is 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Hi, Jane. You don't need qualifications in this country. As long as you vote ANC, I'll place you somewhere, like this card that's now on your news bulletin. It seems to me that the inmates running the asylum in this country. That's how I feel. Reg from Plumstead.
Thank you for that, Reg. And a previous caller said, well, we want to know about the blue lights and how many woolly bags. We will not be dipping back into that in this program, but we'll certainly be giving you a pacey version, relay what's been happening throughout the day. The inquiry only has one day with Mkhwanazi. It is now 12:30. Time for the news headlines.
Thanks, Jane. Good afternoon. We begin with news just in. Two men believed to be escorting alleged criminal kingpin Katiso Katie Molefe have been arrested. It's understood the men were found to be carrying firearms without valid permits today. Molefe returned to the Alexandra Magistrates Court this morning, facing charges including murder. Those charges are linked to the alleged murders of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart, musicians Oupa Sefoka and Hector Buthelezi, popularly known as DJ Sambodi and DJ Ventos, respectively. The case has now been transferred to the High Court for trial. Suspended EMPD acting head Julius Mkhwanazi has alleged that former Deputy Chief Revo Spies misled the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry by presenting a forged operational plan. Last month, Spies testified that the operational plan showed signs of manipulation after its initial submission. Testifying before the Commission in Pretoria today, Mkhwanazi claims the plan that he will be submitting is the authentic document. And the Department of International Relations says it considers South Africa's non-invitation to the first meeting of the Group of 20 since handing over the presidency to the United States as a breach of protocol. Director General Zane Dango confirmed to Parliament today that South Africa was excluded from Sunday's meeting that would start to map out the next year of the G20's work. Those are the headlines, this EWN and more at 1 or as it happens.
EWN Sport.
Good afternoon, I'm Anthony Tshwane. First steps taken by the Springboks in their Rugby World Cup title defence as the pool draw took place this morning for the 2027 finals. Live streamed on World Rugby's YouTube, they were placed in Pool B alongside Italy, Georgia and Romania.
There they are, the four-time Rugby World Cup champion. South Africa will be looking to become the first to win 3 consecutive tournaments after those outstanding successes in 2019 and 2023.
Headline pool games include a meeting of Australia, the hosts, and 3-time winners, the All Blacks, as well as Six-Nation rivals Scotland and Ireland. We expected the verdict on Eben Etzebeth's eye-gouge red card against Wales today. However, reports are that it's been delayed till Sunday, with the panel unable to agree on an appropriate punishment. The trial took place Tuesday evening with the belief that the Locks legal team argued it was reckless and not intentional, while live cricket action sees the Proteas in the field against India in that second ODI. The Indians 243 for 2, going at over 7 runs to the over. Gakwad as well as Virat Kohli have taken this game away from the South Africans. Gakwad is on 96, Kohli on 91 there. Earlier we did see some success for the bowlers in this innings. Andre Berger collecting the wicket of Sharma and Marco Jansen dismissing Jaiswal. Switching to football now, where there was a 9-goal thriller at Craven Cottage. Man City winning 5-4 over Fulham to close the gap to 2 points at the top of the Premier League on a night where Erling Haaland scored his 100th goal for the citizens in the league. Newcastle and Spurs ended 2-2 and Everton snuck past Bournemouth 1-0. And in the Betway Premiership, Amazulu fired to third on the log thanks to a 1-0 win over Golden Arrows. Anthony Tshwane, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this hour, if you're heading in and out of the Joburg CBD, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic in the Amalgam area. This is on Main Reef Road between Anderson and Nazareth Road. Also, if you're leaving the Calvin area heading towards either Germiston or Midrand, there's roadworks causing heavy delays on the N3 in both directions. This is between London Road and the Between to Change. In the Mother City, there's slow-moving traffic on the elevated freeway heading into the Cape Town CBD. Also, heavy delays. This is on the M5 northbound between the N2 and the Koeberg interchange. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. Like the eager beaver driving to meet the woman of his dreams. Butterflies in his stomach, GPS on full volume. He checks his hair for the 7th time. Looking good. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic. It's a possible love story on the move. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Some moments only come around once, like the Audi year-end sale. Get the Audi A1 from $6,999 per month with no deposit, a 90-day payment break, so you only start paying next year. Plus, a guaranteed buyback. There's limited time to show up, but unlimited time to stand out in the Audi A1. Visit audi.co.za or your nearest Audi dealer before the 24th of December. T's and C's apply.
Small businesses are anything but small. They're the backbone of our communities, the dreamers, the doers, the ones who keep Mzansi moving forward. That's why 702 and Capitec Business Banking are putting them in the spotlight. Every Thursday between 6 and 8 p.m., catch Small Business Focus with Capitec, where we showcase the hustle, heart, and the secrets to thriving in today's economy. Your vision matters, and with Capitec, you're never building it alone. Small Business Focus with Capitec, the business bank for everyone. Thursdays between 6 and 8 p.m. on 702. Capitec Bank is an authorized FSP 46669.
Because this journey is better taken together.
Let's walk the talk. 702.
Afternoon, Jane. Julius Mkhonazi is all over the place. Like, I don't really understand what is he saying or what to follow. I'm struggling to follow him. I mean, he's mentioning all these things that he was measured for in his assessment, like finance, leadership. I'm interested to know whether articulation was part of that assessment, because he must have done bad. He struggles with basic articulation.
I know, it's a shocker, isn't it? Latido says he's a disgrace to EMPD and the country. I know that you're going to also want to comment on this story I'm just about to talk about. It's another shocker. 072-702-1702 and the Cape Town number 072-567-1567. I'm Jane Dutton. I'm in for Mandy Wiener. And we've been hearing that the case against alleged crime boss Katiso Katie Molefe has been moved to the High Court, again showing how serious it is. Him and his three co-accused briefly appeared in the Alexandra Magistrates Court, where prosecutors confirmed the charges. Before we get on to that, Khomotso Modise is on that story, and let's start off with the breaking news. 2 men escorting Molefe have been arrested. What happened?
Well, good afternoon, Jane. You know, the long and short of it really is the arrest that happened seems to have been in private. I was at the Alexandra Magistrates Court a short while ago and I didn't see an arrest. I did see a whole lot of security personnel. And it was difficult to tell. It's often difficult to tell who is, who are the police, because oftentimes they're also in civilian clothing, and who are the security guards for the accused, this time Katiso Katie Molefe. So the assumption oftentimes is that everyone that's in there, because this is such a sensitive case, we've been seeing police, in civilian clothing and police that are, in uniform in the courtrooms, packed, filling up the courtroom sometimes, So today it seems some of those who were in the courtroom in civilian clothing are believed to have been the security guards of Katiso Katie Molefe, who was in court today. And we hear from police that the men were arrested. I believe it's a man, or it's 2 men aged between 24 and 36, and they were found with AK-47 rifles, which again is common in a matter like this. In this particular matter, we see rifles all the time in the courtroom, and they were found with ammunition as well, and they didn't have the permits. That's the statement, or that's according to the police. So those men have now been arrested.
It's hard to get your head around, isn't it? I mean, the fact that you are in that position, A, and in court, B, with unlicensed firearms, you think you should know better, just shows how the security systems are just unraveled.
Yes. Well, Jane, I think the question I'm asking myself is it the firearms that are unlicensed, or were they not carrying the permits that they had to be? Because according to the statement from the police, they were found with the firearms and with the ammunition without permits. And I think now what we need to find out is whether those firearms were illegal, whether they have the requisite, documentation to even have and own such firearms. But I think that will follow now after this arrest.
All right. So it's been moved, the case, to the High Court. The reasoning?
Yes. So the matter has been transferred to the Johannesburg High Court. We were expecting it to happen just based, as you said, on the seriousness of the case as well as the charges here. There are 36 counts here that all 4 men are facing. Now, some of the counts Molefe is not facing, but his 3 co-accused, who are the alleged hitmen, are facing, and some of the counts, 1 or 2 of the men are facing and others are not. But in total, it's 36 counts of crimes, including murder, conspiracy to commit murder, possession of unlicensed firearms. That's really the charges here, and they're in connection with the murders of DJ Sambodi, whose real name was Opa Sefuka, as well as Hector Buthelezi, who was known as a DJ Vintos, and a man named Don Dindleni, who was a businessman also. Molefe hasn't been charged for that, but Dindleni's matter was linked to the other crimes through ballistic evidence. So there's that. And then, of course, the initial crime that Molefe was arrested for, the murder of Armand Swart. All of that has been put together, centralized, and transferred to the High Court for trial.
And yet he's out on bail.
He remains out on bail, R500,000 bail. And he continues to come to court. And as long as he does, he will remain out on bail.
Also, thank you.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
EFF Speaker of the Ekurhuleni Council, Thabiseng Chivenga, has resigned with immediate effect after a messy fallout with fellow EFF leaders Khuleko Dunga and Councillor Julius Mdluli. Let's talk about this more with our reporter, EWN reporter, Alpha Ramashwana. Alpha, what happened? Alpha, can you hear me?
Yes, Ken, I can hear you now.
All right, what happened? What happened inside the caucus that pushed Ntshivenga to resign on the spot?
Yes, so the EFF's Ntshivenga, who was a councillor and speaker of the Ekurhuleni City Council, has officially tendered her resignation, both as a councillor and speaker of the City Council with immediate effect. We understand that she has had a fallout with two of her fellow EFF members in the City Council. One, Nkululeko Dunga, who is the chairperson of the EFF in Gauteng, and another councillor of the EFF in the Ekurhuleni City Council, Julius Mhluli. Now, we have been following the Ekurhuleni for a few weeks, and quite a number of public spats or disagreements between Ntshivenga and her two EFF colleagues in council, on the record, and live in front of everyone else. See that there's been a fallout in the manner in which they address each other, the disagreements in which they have in front of all the other parties in the City Council. So today, this morning, we were informed that she's officially resigned, and it is indeed because of the disagreements with Nkululeko Dunga, the chairperson of the EFF. But this doesn't necessarily mean she's leaving the political party. The party is now redeploying her to the Gauteng provincial legislature. We understand that the EFF is of the view that Ntshivenga and her two colleagues could not function in the same council, and so they chose to redeploy her to the provincial legislature, where she'd be far from those two that she's not getting along. So those are some of the news that we've been following throughout the morning.
What do you think this fallout reveals about the battles inside the Ekurhuleni EFF?
I mean, the battles inside the Ekurhuleni Council at large, not even with the EFF alone, we've been reporting about them for quite some time. I mean, as we speak, the ANC and EFF, who are running the municipality together, don't get along. They're in a coalition government, but the ANC mayor has been quite open that he is not happy with the EFF being part of his executive. The EFF as well isn't happy with, working and governing alongside the ANC. When we zone in on the EFF specifically, they have had a number of disagreements. And Ntshivenga herself was the Speaker of the Council, meaning one of her roles and jobs is to ensure that there are no fights or disagreements in Council. And she hasn't been happy with the conduct of some of her fellow EFF councillors in the City Council. And that is one of the reasons why she chose to resign as a councillor and Speaker and be redeployed to the Gauteng provincial legislature. She wasn't too happy as a law graduate to oversee a council where her fellow EFF members, according to our sources, haven't been really behaving within council meetings.
Okay, Alpha, briefly, if you will, it's a big week for the ANC in Johannesburg. The party's elective conference kicks off today. Dada Marero is seeking re-election. What are his chances?
Certainly. So today it's day one of the ANC's 3-day elective conference in the city of Johannesburg. Dada Marero has been the regional leader of the ANC in the city for about 3 years, since 2022. Today, the council kicks off. He wants to be re-elected. He's going up against Loyiso Masuku, who's also very much supported within the ANC, leading a faction called Spirit. Under the slogan, "We want women on top." She's a female and she wants to be leading the ANC in the city. And so the branches of the ANC have been supporting her so much. So looking at the branch nominations and branch support, it's still a tight race. And so anything can happen at any time, which could give either of them victory. But right now, as we speak, it's a tight race. It's unclear whether the race is going to Marero or Loyiso Masuku.
All right, thanks for that, Alpha. After the short break, we're going to be talking about the DA fraud complaint against the Deputy Mayor and Finance, Modise.
The stage, the lights, the crowd, everything's perfect until suddenly someone slips on the dance floor. A speaker lands in the buffet. In an instant, your masterpiece is a mess. That's why Auto & General is there with events liability insurance. We handle the unexpected so you don't have to. Plan the party, wow the guests, leave the rest to us. For more information on events liability insurance, visit autogen.co.za. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
You've heard the songs, but until you've seen it live, you haven't experienced the magic of cats. Coming to Monte Casino from 17 January until 22 February, it's the memory shared by millions. Book now with Web Tickets. Brought to you by Peter Turin and GWB Entertainment.
Dive into a summer of extra with free gifts from Vodacom on all summer deals. Like the Honor 400 5G for just $499 per month over 36 months on a 1 gig red core plan. You also get a free Honor Pad X7 with $1,999. Plus, get 5 gigs YouTube data for 3 months and 2 months free YouTube Premium. Available in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Further together. Vodacom.
702, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
The DA in Tshwane has laid a fraud complaint against Deputy Mayor and Finance MMC Eugene Modise after a forensic report found that he may be benefiting from a company doing business with the city. EWN reporter Tabiso Goba is on that story. And now the report links him to the Triotic Protection Services, which holds a multi-million rand security contract. Modise claims that he sold the company in 2023. Hi, Tabiso. Go ahead. Tell us about this fraud complaint.
Good afternoon, Jane. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Okay, just tell us about what the DA in Tshwane has been doing and this fraud complaint against Modise.
Yes, good afternoon, Jane. I mean, to start at the beginning, Jane, I mean, there is a councillor's code of conduct, not just for Tshwane councillors, but for all councillors across the country. And that code of conduct is very clear that any councillor serving within a municipality cannot do any business with the municipality. So early this year, there were some suggestions or some allegations that the Tshwane MMC for Finance and also the Deputy Mayor, Eugene Modise, was doing business with the municipality. There was a forensic investigation that was constituted or commissioned by the municipality, and that forensic investigation actually did find that Modise was actually benefiting from a company that is doing business with the municipality. This company is called Triotic Protection Services. It provides security for the municipality. It currently has a multi-million rand contract with the municipality for providing this security. Now, Eugene Modise, prior to becoming a councillor in 2023, he said that he actually sold his ownership stake in this company. However, it is interesting, Jane, that the report actually says that Modise didn't provide the investigators with any sale agreement, and that they also found that he didn't declare to the municipality, as he should have, that he actually leases one of his properties to Triotic Protection Services. So all in all, that report, which was very damning, found that Modise actually does do business with the municipality and found that he actually contravened some sections of the councillor's code of conduct. So now the DA has said that, obviously this constitutes fraud and that there should be further investigations in terms of criminal investigations that should be held against Eugene Modise. Now, this was the DA's caucus chairperson, Celia Brink, speaking outside the Brooklyn police station today, where they laid the charges against Modise.
And you wonder why no action was taken from the mayor or anyone else, forcing the DA to lay charges instead.
The DA has accused the mayor of protecting Eugene Modise. This is something that the mayor obviously has denied. I will say that, Jane, what has happened is that a special ad hoc committee has been established. Now, this was through a motion that was sponsored by the ANC but also supported by the Action SA and EFF to have a special ad hoc committee. This ad hoc committee will deliberate on the investigation report that was tabled against the mayor, but it will also make a recommendation on to the MEC for COCTA on what action should be done or should be taken against the Deputy Mayor Eugene Modise. Now, opposition parties have obviously slammed this and criticized the special ad hoc committee, saying it is a delay tactic. We do know that we're likely to have elections next year, and that by the time this committee actually sits and actually makes a recommendation to the MEC for COCTA, the political administration term for this current administration will be over and we'll already be heading to elections. So opposition parties are very much against the ad hoc committee and have accused the Tshwane Mayor, but have accused also the governing coalition of protecting Eugene Modise and not taking any action after this damning report was released against him.
Again, another example of how many positions there's the grey area where there's just no clarity about what it is that they can do and what it is they absolutely cannot. Tabisa Goba, thank you very much.
702, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
The South African Medical Research Council has launched 2 new peer-led interventions to tackle sexual violence and the growing mental health crisis on campuses around the country. Now, the programs were developed with higher education. They've already shown strong results in pilot studies. Let's talk to lead researcher Dr. Carrie Brooks-Sumner about these interventions. A good afternoon to you. Firstly, what sparked this research project?
Hi, good afternoon, Jane. Thanks for having me, and it's really good to be here with you and all your listeners. So I think around this time of year, we all are hearing a lot around gender-based violence and femicide. And what really sparked these projects was a survey that we did in around 2019, which showed that out of all our female university students, about 43% of them had experienced some kind of physical or emotional or sexual violence from their intimate partners. So really that's a quite alarming percentage, I think. And so this is where these interventions have come from.
And what are you seeing? How are you seeing these pilots run and play out?
Yeah, so we've basically designed these interventions and we've piloted them on some campuses in South Africa. And it's quite amazing to see how responsive and how engaged the young women have been. So we've had these programs running for about 6 to 10 months of last year and this year. And I think what's amazing is they're a space where these groups of young women come together and they talk about relationships, they talk about things they've experienced, they talk about some difficult things, but also some very positive things. And they really share and grow together in that space. And I think that's what we're trying to say, is that to really make a change around these issues of GBV, it's about these deep relational changes.
And I should imagine just getting down to the basics, right? I mean, you just need to hear these stories. They need to be expressed. They need to be taken off their chest. This pain needs to be known.
Yes, so I mean, in the groups, we're not setting out to talk specifically about people's experiences in that way, but of course it does come out, and that's why we've incorporated a big aspect of mental health promotion and support into this program, because that's really the huge link, is that there's a bi-directional link actually between experiencing violence and being at greater risk of violence if you have a mental health condition. So that's really, it really provides a space where people can, as you say, just let out some of these things and try to process them.
What obstacles did you find, if any, or what weaknesses or challenges still need to be ironed out?
Yeah, so I think what has been great is we had wonderful support from the institutions in terms of, being allowed space and access to the students and all of that. But what is challenging is that, students are very, they've got a lot of demands on them. Mm-hmm. That includes the demands of their social lives, which they prioritize. And so finding time and space for these sessions was a little bit challenging at some times. So, it's getting people to commit to something that takes some time out of their kind of busy calendars. I'd say that was one of the barriers that we faced. But once people had kind of experienced it and were part of these groups, they really did come back and were kind of eager to experience more of it.
And programs, I mean, it focuses on all women and LBQ students as well.
Yes, that's right. So the interesting thing was that in the initial pilot of the program, we had some young women who came and said, this is great, but in a lot of ways it doesn't respond to our needs, because we have relationships not only with men but also with women. So that's the sexual minority, lesbian and bisexual women. And so we spent a lot of time really listening to that and thinking about how we could redesign the program to respond to different needs of people who have relationships not necessarily with the opposite gender.
And are you shocked at how many women have been affected by some sort of violence in this country?
Look, I think that the numbers, we should never stop being shocked because the numbers, it shouldn't be there. So yes, I am shocked. But on the other hand, it's not really a new story, and we've had the National Strategic Plan on GBV and femicide since 2020, and long before that, there's been a big awareness of the issue. But I think what is really difficult is when you hear the stories of these young women, and many of these are first-year students, so they're coming to university in their first year, but they've already experienced that type of violence, which means it was very early in their lives.
All right, if somebody wants to get hold of you, if they've been listening in now and they want to get onto the program, they want to seek your help, what should they do?
Yeah, well, I think the first point of call is to just Google the South African Medical Research Council, and also you can Google the Ntombi Vimbela project, which Ntombi Vimbela means girl resist in isiZulu. So if you Google that, you will find information around these programs. And you can also just sort of Google me on SAMRC.
Dr. Carrie Brooks-Sumner, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a shift worker making his way home and daydreaming about his next career move, his next chapter. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a possible light bulb moment that could change someone's life. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSC.
Elevate your flying experience with Lyft Premium. Enjoy even more space, comfort, and convenience with priority boarding, extra baggage allowance, and complimentary lounge access. Visit lyft.co.za today.
At Isuzu, we know every delivery, every kilometer, and every load is building something bigger. This truck month, set your business up for success with special deals across the Isuzu N and F-Series ranges. Don't get left behind. Speak to your Isuzu truck specialist or call 08600 Isuzu and secure your truck month deal today. Isuzu, with you for the long run. T's and C's apply.
702, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. Thank you for your comments today on our stories. We'll be back with more tomorrow. And this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Vouch. Hassle-free insurance is possible with your Vouch advisor. Vouch SA is an authorized financial services provider. T's and C's apply. It's 1 o'clock.
This is EWN.
2 bodyguards arrested for firearm-related charges in Alex, and Tiffany Nicole Meek to spend the festive season behind bars. Afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. We begin with news just in. 2 men believed to be escorting alleged criminal kingpin Katiso Katie Molefe have been arrested. It's understood the men were found to be carrying firearms without valid permits today. Molefe returned to the Alexandra Magistrates Court this morning, facing charges including murder. Those charges are linked to the alleged murders of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart, musicians Opa Sefoka and Hector Buthelezi, popularly known as DJ Sambodi and DJ Vintos, years, respectively. The case has now been transferred to the High Court for trial. Khomotso Modise has more.
Katiso KT Molefe is out on R500,000 bail, and unlike his co-accused, he was not wearing leg irons during his court appearance this morning. This morning's sitting was for the state to confirm whether Molefe's case is ready to be transferred to the High Court. His dockets of charges including murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and possession of